Hi, this is Nikki from the blog Natty Nikki doing my second ever YouTube video. Slightly different this time. The first one I did was really just about explaining why I started my blog. This time, a couple of days ago, I put a shout out on Twitter asking if there's anything that you'd like to ask me, the people that read the blog, and I'd do a little video answering questions. Now, strangely enough, Erin from Erin's Little Big Corner replied to me and said that she was actually just looking at doing a blogger challenge where she sets 10 questions for you to answer, and you can either do it in a blog post or, like me, you can do it as part of a video. So I thought, well, that sounds good. So I asked her to email me over the questions and thought I'd have a go at answering them. So here I am with the questions written out on my Doctor Who notepad, a bottle of beer for company. And please excuse me looking a bit rough today. I was out late last night celebrating my wedding anniversary with my husband, so bear with me, I might be a bit hungover today, but we'll see how we get on. So the first question she sent me was, in one sentence, how would you describe your personal style? Now, being a fashion blogger, you'd think, oh, that'd be really easy to answer. Well, actually, no, because I don't know that I really have a personal style. I tend to wear whatever takes my fancy, really, whether it be a bodycon dress, pair of tracksuit bottoms, skinny jeans. I don't really have a style as such. I suppose my personal style, really, if I had to sum it up, would be something that just suits me and reflects my personality, really, and wearing clothes that I feel happy and confident in, to try and, always look good and feel good about myself. So I guess that's what I'm saying, really. My personal style is just to feel good. Number 2, who are my fashion icons and inspirations? Now, I don't really have any famous fashion icons that I like. You'll see a lot of ladies will probably say they might like Adele. Me personally, my fashion icons and inspirations are actually the other fellow plus size bloggers that I follow. And there are absolutely loads of them on the internet, but to name a few, there is Leah from Just Me Leah, Steph from Seeing Spots, Becky from Mrs. BB, Becky from Does My Blog Make Me Look Fat? I could ramble on for the next hour naming all the people's whose blogs I look at and follow, and they are truly my inspiration. I will see them in outfits and think, oh, I really want to wear that. I really wanted to buy that dress, which actually happened with the Simply Be dress that I saw a couple of girls wearing on their blogs and was so taken with it. I knew it had to be mine, so I did actually buy it. So there you go, those are my fashion icons and inspirations. Right, number 3 is, what has been my toughest yet most rewarding fashion challenge this year? Now, that's quite an easy one to answer. That's got to be a crop top. Now, crop tops, as we probably all know from seeing on the internet and just generally going out shopping, have been absolutely huge this year. And when they first came along, as somebody who's 38 and probably wore them many years ago in my teenage years, wasn't really something I thought I'd wear again. Wasn't something actually I thought I could wear, being plus size. But when I went into Primark and saw them for £3, I thought, okay, I'll have a try. And as it turned out, I did wear them, and I actually wore them with a pencil skirt and did a blog post about it, which had an amazing response and made me feel so confident that I actually went around Birmingham in my pencil skirt and my crop top. Had some photos taken by my husband, and just walked along with a devil may care. I thought, I don't care if people think I shouldn't be wearing it. I like it, so I wore it. So I think that has got to definitely have been my most rewarding challenge, because 3 months ago, no way would I have worn a crop top. So to think I actually wore one and I did a blog post about it and got such a good response, definitely very, very rewarding. Right, so number 4 is, what one beauty product could I not live without? Now, this is quite difficult. I'm not the best with beauty products. I've only just really started getting into the whole makeup thing just lately, because I've been a bit useless over the years. The one thing I do love is my shampoo. I've got short hair, and I have to wash my hair every day, because if I don't, it just flat, greasy, horrible, not really looking very nice. So I think if you were to ask me, the one thing I really can't do without is shampoo. Definitely shampoo. I know that's really boring, and I'm sorry it wasn't something more interesting, but that is me, I'm afraid. Number 5 is, what are my favourite clothing retailers and why? Well, if you read my blog, you'll probably know who I tend to shop with, which is a lot of Primark stuff, because let's face it, it's cheap, cheerful, it's fast fashion. But my current big favourite has got to be As Seen on Screen. Their plus size range is absolutely out of this world. It's really on trend, very fashion focused. And they have seen what plus size women want and have really responded so well with amazing bodycon dresses, skater dresses, crop tops, dungarees, pinafores, you name it. I think you can actually buy it. And when they do sales, they really do reduce their stuff. In fact, I've bought a couple of things which I will hopefully be wearing at Plus North next weekend. Can't wait, that's really exciting. That's a whole other thing though. So definitely As Seen on Screen I think is currently my favourite, and Primark I love just for the cheapness of being able to pick up bits and pieces. I should also really mention Simply Be, who are a very, very good retailer. I've got some very good collaborations. Evans, they do have some good pieces, you know, it can be a bit hit and miss. So that's definitely who I like to shop with. Right, number 6 is, what is my current go-to clothing that makes me feel amazing? Well, I think at the moment it has to be a really cheap dress I bought from Primark when it was my birthday. It was only £10. Really bright, really colourful, quite tight fitting. And it's that dress that I wear when I really feel good. And I'm having one of those days, I look in the mirror, I think, yes, my hair's good, makeup's good. And I just feel really good in it. It's the kind of thing a year ago I would never have considered wearing, because you stand out in a crowd when you wear it. It is brightly coloured and it's tight fitting. And every time I wear it, everybody comments on it like, wow, what a dress. I'm like, yeah, it's a tenner from Primark. You know, it's one of those things you would look at it and think how cheap it was, because it does look really, really nice. And for anybody who's never tried a tighter fitting or bodycon dress, don't be frightened of them. They really are quite amazing. Okay, question number 7. Now, this is an interesting one. I've got to tell you something that you don't know already. Now, obviously, running a blog, and I do occasionally do more personal posts about myself, but I think there is one thing that I've probably never mentioned on a blog, and that is that when I was young, or very, very young, sort of 6 or 7, I quite often used to be mistaken for a boy. Now, if you read my blog and you've seen how I'm built, you may find that hard to believe. But when I was 6 or 7, I used to have a terrible bowl head haircut, and I really did look like a boy because I looked so much like my older brother. And I also used to be a terrible tomboy, used to wear my brother's old hand-me-downs, and my dad in those days was, was an Arcala, so he used to run a cub pack. And I would go with him to cub camp, and every other week I'd go to cubs because I wanted to be a cub, and in those days girls couldn't be, they had to join brownies, which was far too girly for me. So I was constantly mistaken for a boy when I was young. And sometimes I still look in the mirror when I've got my glasses on and my hair's not been done, and I think, oh, I look like a boy. But no, you know, if you see me when I'm, you know, standing up and I've got all my clothes on and I'm like, you know, I've got big boobs, obviously I do look like a girl now. But so that I always think that's quite funny, really, that when I was young, I looked like a boy. Right, number 8 is, do I have any fashion goals for the upcoming season? Well, the big trend for this season coming up in autumn, if you aren't already aware, is tartan. I mean, tartan is now exploding everywhere. I've seen it all sorts of places. And when I first heard it was going to be tartan, I was like, I don't know about tartan really. The last time I wore tartan, I was about 8, and my mum had made me wear tartan kilts with little frilly shirts because it was 1980s, that was the fashion. So I was a bit sceptical until I saw the offerings from a brand new company called Pink Clove, who are doing the most amazing tartan skater dress, which I'm totally in love with, and I'm certainly not alone because quite a few of the bloggers are talking about that one. And there's a few other tartan pieces from places like Simply Be as well that are around. But I did actually yesterday buy a pair of tartan trousers, well, sort of tartan trousers from Primark, which I'm just going to grab from behind me. Here they are. This is my first foray into a bit of tartan there. I don't know if you can see. So hopefully these will be making an appearance on the blog soon. So I'm quite surprised that I've been swayed by tartan because I really didn't think I would be, but I have been. So that is hopefully going to be my fashion goals for the upcoming season, will be to rock a bit of tartan. Now, question number 9 is, do I have any personal goals I'd like to share? Now, this is quite hard because I thought, well, personal goals, I don't know really, but I suppose the one personal goal I probably have got, and this is terrible being a fashion blogger, is to try not to spend so much money. I've really got to get better at budgeting, because I get to the end of each month before I'm due to be paid, and it's like, oh dear God, I've got no money left, and see lots of things I'd like to buy. And I think I've really now got to get to a point where I need to really seriously, what we do is called shop my wardrobe, which is actually go through my wardrobe and find all those things that I've probably shoved to one side and have completely forgotten about, which is a terrible thing to admit, but I think that has to be my goal for the next coming month, especially with Christmas looming. I've got to sort out my budgeting really, so that is definitely my personal goal. And finally, I've got to say who I'm going to tag next. Now, I've had a good think about this because I do follow a lot of other people. So I think I am going to tag the lovely, and she is very, very lovely, Leah from Just Me Leah. I will put a little link on my blog to Leah's blog so you can go and visit her. I will also pop a link on my blog to Erin, because she runs a fantastic blog, well worth going to have a look at, and go and show her some love because she's a lovely girl, as is Leah. And in fact, if you haven't already, you really, really must go and check out the plus size blogging community and just the fashion blogging community in general, because there are some lovely, lovely ladies, and they will make you very, very welcome, and they do rock some amazing fashion. And we do have a big event next weekend called Plus North in Manchester, so you'll be seeing a lot of talk on Twitter and Facebook and elsewhere about that in the coming weeks, I'm sure. People showing all the outfits that they've worn. Anyway, I hope that that's giving you a bit more insight to me. I don't know if it has, if I've just rambled on for 11 minutes and now you're thinking, gosh, shut up, lady. So as always, as I always say, thank you for listening, and just remember, always be fabulous.